So initially, and I know you always say focus is always on yourself going into games, but what was the real focus this week going into that Christmas break?
Really the focus was making sure we had quality to what we did. It's a hard week mentally for the guys because you only had one game. It was far away. It was Friday, not Wednesday. We're at Bill Gray's, our practice facility, not in our normal home. Christmas can be on the mind, all those things. So to me, the mentality was making practices challenging, but upbeat and fun. So the team got really high quality in a week that sometimes it's hard to get good quality.
Yeah. Well, it being hard mentally, are you happy that you had those challenging practices despite the postponement tomorrow, just because of all the games coming out there?
Yeah, I think it was easier to have quality practices thinking there was a game Friday, right? And so now once the game got postponed because of weather, today's then was more about getting on the ice and trying to get up and down the sheet for 40, 45 minutes before everybody cleared out of town for the days for break.
Back in the lineup last weekend. How did they go from back?
I thought Moose Cedarquist had an excellent weekend. Was physical, strong on the puck, was engaged in battle. Thought his puck touches were pretty good considering the amount of time he had off. He found his way onto the score sheet. He had the fact that him and Kozak keep earning the trust to be out there in empty net situations says a lot about young rookies, right? That I feel good putting them on the over the boards with a 2-goal lead in 6-on-5 situations, 5-on-6 situations. So that's a real credit to those guys because you play players that you trust in those moments. And then he's, one of Byro's goals, Moose set up because he screened the goaltender and took his eyes away. So he did a really good job. I thought Bjorky had his legs back. I thought the weekend in Cleveland, before he got hurt, was his best games with us. I thought he was a dominant player. He wasn't quite to that level yet, but he will get back there. He's had a great week of practice and he'll be ready to fire after the break. About Ciccone, he's long, he's strong defensively, he's calm. Those are really important traits in a defenseman. So many times, especially today's game, because everybody's looking at offensive numbers and the guys that win the Norris Trophy are offensive defensemen and the draft is more geared towards offensive defensemen. I mean, that's probably why Sammy fell to 32 and he probably should have been a top 15 pick. But it still feels very good as a coach to have defensemen that can defend and that can break the puck out and are strong at the front of the net and make the life of your goaltender easier. And those are things he did very well for us.
Appearances this week. Why is this the time of the year that these are more important than ever?
Well, first of all, I think it's great to be in the community. I know our organization won a big award in the American Hockey League last year for that, and that was mostly driven by our front office and our support staff, and because obviously coaches and players couldn't be out a lot in the last 2 years because of COVID. I love, it's something I've been strongly involved in everywhere I've been. You want to connect with the community, you want to give back, you want to help those that are maybe in situations that are less fortunate than we're in. And so for us to be able to give back, to go to the hospitals, I was able to go to the hospitals with the guys, just see our players interact with young children that are going through a hard time. And those are great opportunities. And it's the least we can do for this community that embraces us. And I also will say our PR team, and the people that set up our support staff behind the scenes that set up these events, all of our players rave about how well organized they are. And that's a real credit to our staff behind the scenes that players players love doing these events, especially if it's on point. These are great events, so we appreciate it.
What do these events do for the players?
Well, what they do is I think, number one, they give them perspective, right? We're in the American Hockey League. All these players are trying to get to the NHL, and you're fighting every day, and most athletes have a little bit of tunnel vision. because that's how you're wired, and you're just every day as you're just pushing so hard to try to accomplish your goals. And so this allows you to take a step back, and appreciate what you have, be grateful for what you have, be hungry for more, obviously still, but be grateful for what you have. And a lot of people in this world, a lot of people in our community are in much tougher spots than we are, and I think it gives you good perspective.